spot. We buy all makes and models, paid off or not. Stop by Stevens Creek Subaru today or StevensCreekSubaru.com.
Stardate September 27th. Astronomers have been debating the fate of some of the hottest, brightest, and most massive stars in the universe for years. Some studies had concluded that such a star would produce a brilliant supernova. Others said the entire star would collapse to form a black hole. But some recent discoveries suggest a hybrid scenario. Wolf-Rayet stars can be dozens of times as massive as the Sun and millions of times brighter. As such a star nears the end of its life, it blows material into space through powerful winds, forming a nebula around the star. When the star reaches the end of its life, its core collapses, probably forming a black hole. Its outer layers then may blast into space, producing a brilliant supernova. On the other hand, there might not be an explosion. The entire star would collapse, winking out with no fireworks to mark its death. But a couple of discoveries in the last few years suggest there's something to both scenarios. Astronomers watched as two supernovas grew extremely bright, then vanished within weeks. The stars were surrounded by elements that likely were expelled by Wolf-Rayet stars. But the total amount of material in each explosion was quite small. So the stars may have produced a bright outburst as their exploding outer layers rammed into the clouds of gas around them, then vanished as most of their material collapsed to form a massive black hole. More about black holes tomorrow. You can find out about McDonald Observatory visitor programs at mcdonaldobservatory.org. And for the McDonald Observatory, I'm Billy Henry.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Navien tankless water heaters, the proven leader in condensing technology. Request a Navien because you deserve the best in endless hot water delivery. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Coming up on KCBS.
I'm Jim Taylor. This was the double play. There's a GoFundMe campaign to bring it back.
Well, in baseball, the A's are in LA playing the Angels, and it's tied up 3-3, bottom of the third. And the Colorado Rockies are trailing the San Francisco Giants 2-1, and that's the top of the fourth. And a sold-out crowd at Levi Stadium for international soccer. It's Mexico versus Colombia.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
As the Warriors look to defend their title this season, questions will loom about the future for Draymond Green. Sean Devaney, who covers the NBA, spoke to a Western Conference executive who said Green is, quote, not going to be shy about leaving Golden State for the right offer, since he is about player power and understands this business. The executive mentioned the Detroit Pistons, Dallas Mavericks, and Los Angeles Lakers as teams Green would potentially consider leaving Golden State for if he receives a favorable offer. And this is just speculation on the executive's part, but Green is currently under contract through this year and is set for a new deal after this season. And when he was asked by reporters about his future contract,
whether I'd like to or not, I don't think it will happen. And so for me, I'm just focused on this season and, being as great as I can be and as I know I'm capable of being and winning another championship.
Now, this is a contract year for Draymond Green, but this is not the first time he's been in this situation.
I think for me, any time in the contract year is motivation. That's kind of how I approach it. That's how I view it. And it's always been the way I viewed it. I've historically been the guy to bet on myself.
Not only is it a contract year for Green, but also for budding Warriors star Jordan Poole as well as Andrew Wiggins. Something to monitor as we move forward with the season. At the Sports Desk, I'm Stephen Langford, KCBS.
KCBS Sports Desk, sponsored by the Bay Area Chevy Dealers. Visit BayAreaChevroletDealers.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Some better news for Benicia, that 680 crash with Claire.
Yeah, this wreck happened on the merge of 680 north getting on to 780 westbound. It was blocking up the left lane. It was in such a position that the only way they could clear it was to stop all traffic on the Benicia Bridge. And they did that. They moved the car. They just released the traffic, so you're backing up approaching the bridge. You should be back on your way shortly. Everything's been reopened there. In Fremont, a pair of accidents. We've got one on northbound 880 just before you get to Auto Mall, blocking the second lane from the left, backing you up from Fremont Boulevard. Southbound 880 south of Thornton, there was a crash blocking lanes. They just moved that over to the right shoulder. That's got you backing up from Dakota. We have a couple of concerts going on in the area. We're going to start in Mountain View Shoreline Amphitheater where the Doobie Brothers are playing. That's got traffic backed up on 101 both ways as you're trying to exit at Shoreline. And in Concord, Iron Maiden's playing the Concord Pavilion. That starts in about 10 minutes, and that's really backing things up on Kirker Pass. Our next report is 7:58 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Well, we still have an onshore influence. We're just not getting as many clouds with it. So in other words, the cooler air is still sticking around. So we're keeping temperatures in the mid-upper 60s in the city. Everybody else is average, which is mid-80s inland, right around 80 San Jose, 80 in Santa Rosa, and upper 70s Oakland, a few low 80s on the peninsula. Those numbers are pretty much average, with the exception of the city where you're a little cooler than average for September. But what happens over the next few days is we get less and less of the onshore influence. We're not going to have anywhere near as many clouds on Wednesday morning as we have had for the last couple of mornings. So in general, you'll get more sunshine, although you'll have a few hot clouds by the afternoon. And Wednesday's numbers are identical to today's. But by Thursday and Friday, we start warming up. By Friday, in fact, daytime highs are going to be back in the low 90s if you're inland, and you'll be in the mid-70s in the city by the time we get to Friday. But the temperatures will come down a bit going into the weekend. Not as cool as they were for today and yesterday, but pretty much right back to just about average once again. So it's a really good-looking weekend in general. Mid-80s inland, low 70s in the city, and we'll see temperatures in places like San Jose by this weekend, which should be right around 80, maybe 81. Same thing for the North Bay Valley. It's not bad. I'm meteorologist Aaron Peck with your KCBS KPIX5 First Alert Forecast.
Yeah, not bad at all for the last week of September here in the Bay Area. Santa Rosa, 66 degrees still, 67 in Napa, 61 San Francisco Airport. 55 in Hayward, 56 San Jose Airport, and here along the Embarcadero it's 61 degrees. Traffic and weather together on KCBS. KCBS News Time, 7:51. Deborah Ingerson is out at the editor's desk tonight. I'm Elisa Clancy. COVID hospitalizations jumped 17% in the UK last week, and the US may not be far behind. As KCBS reporter Holly Kwan tells us, that has local COVID doctors urging people to get boosted ahead of a winter surge.
If the previous 2 years are any indication, we should start to see cases going up starting in October, which is only 4 days away. UCSF Chair of Medicine Dr. Bob Wachter tweeting that he's keeping a close watch on the Europe numbers because that could be us if people wait to get boosted. UCSF infectious disease expert Dr. Peter Chin Hong agrees if more people get boosted, we can keep the hospitals open for people sick with things other than COVID.
Even though cases are in a lull in the Bay Area, you have people from all over the world coming, including from Europe. Europe is experiencing the beginnings of a winter surge right now in some countries like Belgium, UK, and Denmark. So I think that it is what it is, but it is probably the best time to do it. Before cases may go up again later in the year.
3 weeks after the rollout of the latest BA.5 specific booster, the CDC says only 1.5% of people eligible have gotten a shot, with as immunity from previous vaccinations is waning. Paul Kwong, KCBS.
In the wake of a devastating fire, a GoFundMe campaign is collecting money to rebuild the Bubble Play, a historic bar and grill in San Francisco. Here's KCBS's Jim Taylor.
The backstory of the Double Play Bar and Grill is a glaring example of the American dream. Katie Hernandez, the daughter of the longtime owner.
He was a dishwasher back in 1988, and he officially became the owner in 2009.
He must be very sad right now.
Dude, he's super sad. Yeah, he's in shock. He's trying to process everything.
That's what it sounded like when the Giants won the 2012 World Series. The Double Play right across the street from the old Sears Stadium, Giants' first home in San Francisco. It was a meeting spot before, after, and even during games when good baseball players were known to visit the bar for a quick shot between innings. It's where Katie grew up.
I had my baptism there, and all big family events have always been at the Double Play, and I think that's probably my best memories, just because it's always been very family-oriented there, even before my dad owned it. The food was always delicious. I will definitely miss that, being there all the time with my parents.
That's why she's running a GoFundMe campaign to help out employees, maybe even help bring the place back. In San Francisco, Jim Taylor, KCBS.
Hurricane Ian could become the 6th most expensive hurricane in U.S. history, with the threat of 7-foot storm surges into Tampa Bay. Disaster modeling says economic losses on the west coast of Florida could hit $70 billion should the forecast hold. Disney is shutting down its Florida theme parks for the next 2 days as Ian makes for the state. SeaWorld has closed Busch Gardens in Tampa through Thursday. Florida's homeowners insurance market is bracing for the storm. 6 insurers in the state that wrote homeowner policies recently have gone under. The largest insurers generally have pulled back from the market after natural disasters. The smaller firms still active but struggle to cope with losses. On Wall Street, investors pulled back the best of their gains and the worst of their losses, ending the day with the Dow and S&P down about 0.25% to 0.5%. The Dow down 126, the S&P 8, the Nasdaq rose 0.25%, 27 points. Jill Doniger, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
If you're thinking about home improvement, why not choose products that last longer, look better, and provide real energy efficiency, all while increasing the comfortability of your home? For over 50 years, Armstrong Painting and Cleaning has. For estimates and financing available, you can call toll-free 855-777-1234 or online at armstrong1234.com. Armstrong Painting and Cleaning Windows, license 245291.
It's easy to think our money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different how? Sell high-position investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act on our clients' best interests. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients, and then tailor our portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. Exactly why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors and clients switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities.
Doors and loading dock are a crucial part of your business, and one you probably don't think much about until they break. A broken door or dock leveler can be a real security threat, along with disturbing the flow of goods in your business. Luckily, RNS is here for all your commercial door, dock, and gate needs. From overhead doors and security shutters to fire-rated and personal doors, RNS can provide your business with safety and security. Call 800-FIX-A-DOOR to schedule a free estimate or visit rsdoors.com. RNS Doors. Look
for the red truck.
Do you have neuropathy? Are you experiencing numbness, tingling, and pain that just won't stop? Are you taking dangerous drugs that have serious side effects and